and we are here today to talk a little bit about an in-season / coaching topic that we have come up a few times a year, but it's something that I definitely want to kind of get out in front of and address a little bit. So one of the reasons that we're going to talk about this, which is communication or kind of communication chain of command or communication flow during the season, is that we do have a difficulty in finding coaches, in particular head coach volunteers, every season. So many of you have probably seen emails from me or from Julie where we are asking or we're saying, hey, look, we can't even start this program yet. Still need 2, still need 3, still need another head coach in order to do so. One of the feedbacks that we do get from folks that have volunteered in the past, or a reason from others that they are not volunteering, is some trepidation as far as either complaints are concerned or how things are going to be handled from a communication standpoint from parents on the team. So what I'd like to do is kind of look a little bit today about how we would kind of want that communication to flow throughout the season. So biggest thing, and you all heard, whether it be Andy, whether it be myself, or at any kind of youth sports parent meeting, go through the 24-hour rule. That's a big thing we still would like everybody to follow. All that really means is that if we have any, or if you have any communication that you want to send to your coach, please wait the 24 hours doing so. Most often, we'll see this referred to, complaint about playing time or a question about playing time, or any logistical things that may be happening that have upset a family or upset a parent throughout the season. So again, if something like that does come up, we do ask that you wait the 24 hours to do so. The difference in the tone of communication can be drastic when waiting that 24-hour time frame to kind of get something out or to get something off the chest. So we tend to see it be a little less emotional and a little bit easier to start that dialogue when waiting that 24-hour time period. One of the other big things that we'd like for you to look at is try to avoid approaching coaches if we're going to look at communication, whether it be directly before or directly after a game. Practices are fine times, I think, to be able to approach them a little bit before, a little bit after practice. Obviously, emails if we're not within that 24-hour window. But we do want to make sure that we look at the communication flow going kind of this way. Always address something with your head coach first. So if you have something, a question about playing time, a question about skill development, those types of things, please address that directly with the head coach. Number one, give the head coach a chance to respond, give the head coach a chance to work through that with you. And then from there, if the response that you've gotten, you still have further questions or anything like that, that is when the next step would be to come to whether it be myself or whether it be Julie, depending on the sports that we're administering at that point. What we want to make sure of is that you do go to the head coach first, so that the head coach is not blindsided when we reach out to them once we field any questions from the parent themselves. We want them to know that there may be something coming. We don't want to be the first time that they receive any communication about that type of issue. Once you've worked with, so if we've gone through head coach, you've gone through myself or Julie, if we still have not reached an amicable situation or amicable solution, that is when you could involve Andy Robin, who's the executive director at that point. So again, really look at that communication flow as going from head coach first. Always involve them, number one. Again, give them a chance to kind of respond, give them a chance to work through any type of issue, problem, or solution with you. From there would be either myself or Julie. And then again, if we need to involve, or if you feel like you need to go to a final step, that would be when we would get Andy involved. So again, we really feel like going through this chain of command or through this kind of communication would really help with the volunteer coaches